Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So we have another in-depth collection part to go over to today, so I won't beat around the bush and let's get into it.
And back in with the next chapter. Right, so we start off with Deck the Halls, Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito, even though I can't remember his name, it's written there. I quite like it. It's quite a fun Christmas film. I think Christina Chenoweth is in there and a few other people, other major or fairly celebrity people, but I enjoyed it. Deep Blue Sea, classic. Really mean to keep going back and watching this. Obviously films like The Megan Act make you want to go revisit this. Thomas Jane, quite a classic. Deep Impact obviously came out at the same time as Armageddon. I would say Armageddon I prefer over this one, but I didn't think Deep Impact was a bad film. Deepwater Horizon, obviously I've got labels on it, I have not watched it, so I can't really rate on it. I'm sure it's based on a true story, so I'm sure I'll be quite intrigued. Den of Thieves, again, got labels on it, I haven't seen this. Good old Gerard Butler action movie. Always a bit dubious about 50 Cent and his acting, but we shall see. Defiant, Daniel Craig, set around a war. If I remember, it's been quite a while since I've watched it, so I thought it was alright. Yeah, courage is the ultimate weapon. I'm sure it is. Then we have Definitely Maybe. So Ryan Reynolds' early chick flick movie with the three women that we didn't know which one of them is the mother of his daughter. Yeah, I thought it was quite good. Kept you guessing. Deja Vu, a good film with Denzel Washington. I think it has one of my favourite actors there. He has Mr. Reese from Persons of Interest. Even though I can't remember his name off the top of my head. That's a bit it's a bit problem when you're getting old. Obviously Delivery Man, Vince Vaughn, where he is a sperm donor and then ends up having loads of kids. I thought it was alright. Not a too bad film. The classic, I know AJ's not a big fanist, Teddy Bear. I quite liked this movie. Demolition Action Man. Obviously I think it is quite ingenious. We're still talking about the free shells nowadays, so it's always fun. Derek Lists My Wives, I've not ever seen it. I've got more into Ricky Gervais as time goes on, so it's probably something I would watch with her. Then we have the Darren Brown Collection. I have seen him live. I do like his shows and stuff like that, so I had to buy this box set and stuff. I do quite like stuff with the tricks of the mind and how it works. And we have another Van Damme, Desert Heat. Never seen this one, which is why the label is still on it. So I can't quite. I'm sure Van Damme has quite a few roundhouse kicks and such. And then Desert Saints, obviously Kiefer Sutherland there. Again, another one I've not seen. I picked up cheap, so I cannot comment about. But if you have, please do let me know down in the comments. Then we have El Mariachi and Desperado, the first two of the trilogy. I have seen Desperado and I feel like I've seen El Mariachi, but the label's on it, so I've not obviously seen this edition. And then obviously the third one, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, starring Johnny Depp. I did like it. It got a bit silly with the remote control suitcases, but I didn't think it was too bad. Desperate Measures, quite a good film with Michael Keaton and Andy Garcia. I think it's late 90s, kind of action-packed, where you've got to do something against a specific time and limits. Then we get into the Minions, so we have Despicable Me, loveliest animation movie. Who doesn't love a Minion? Maybe people are a bit sick. Then we have the second one on Blu-ray. Don't own 3 for some reason. Then we've got Minions, as it's kind of linked into it. I thought it should be sat there. And I don't own Minions 2 either, so that's a bit bad. Then we got Detective Pikachu. I got a little while ago. My friend was when his brother were body doubles for some of the extra bits in it, but yeah, I can't make him out in the film. But yeah, I did quite like this. Then we have Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. Rob Schneider, very silly movies that he comes up, but I thought it's always a fun and laugh. I don't think I own the second one of that. Devil, this is one, my friend who was a body double in Detective Pikachu, Tim, he recommended me this. It's kind of a thriller from the mind of M. Night Shyamalan. I don't think it was too bad. Not one I kind of knew about, very interesting. And we had Devil's Advocate, Keanu Reeves, and Al Pacino. Quite a standing movie. I did like it. I weren't the biggest fan of Al Pacino as Devil. I think he did an alright role, but yeah, it fit in there. Then we have obviously Dexter. Love Dexter. Season 1 there. We have season 2. 3. 4. With Harrison there on his shoulders. 5. 6. 7. And then 8, which was the final season, but obviously they did a reboot one. Unfortunately, I say this doesn't have the best ending. I think the reboot suffered in a few places as well. But I do like the character. I do like the 95% of the series, so I don't think it's bad. Dharma and Greg, love this series from the 90s. They only ever released the first 2 series on this is, as you can tell, it's a bit of a foreign one, but it's played in English, so I've never able to rewatch that. Diagnosis Murder, picked up an old cheesy one. I do like the kind of murder mystery stuff like that. I do like Dick Van Dyke. Diary of the Dead. I cannot remember this film for the life of me, so I can't comment on it, but I'm sure it's probably alright. Dickie Roberts, former child star. I did find this quite funny, quite zany one, from obviously one of the grown-up cast, if I can remember even his name. Obviously it's made by the Happy Madsen production, so it's from Adam Sandler. Then we had the classic Dick Tracy by Warren Beatty. I only watched this probably like 5 or 10 years ago, so it's a bit late to the party in that, obviously, because it is based on a comic book. I do like it, and there's my dog having a sniff of some of my toys. Did you hear about the Morgans? Again, I'm a big fan of Hugh Grant. I'm not biggest fan of Sarah Jessica Parker, but I thought it was an alright comedy, not the best. Then we get into Die Hard, obviously the classic Christmas film, 1, 2. I love 3. I think 3 is almost my favourite, so to speak. Then we have Die Hard, or Die Harder as it was called in America. Again, I still liked it. I thought Bruce did quite well. Then they bring his son in for 5, A Good Day to Die Hard. It was an alright movie. It wasn't the best. It's a bit of a shame this is the last Die Hard we will get. Then we have Dinner with Schmucks. Again, a bit of a zany one. I like Jeff Dunham was in it, even though he's featured there, but he's only actually featured in one scene out of the whole film, so it's a bit silly. Then we have Dirty Dancing. You know, no one puts baby in a corner. My sister made me watch this multiple times when I was a kid. I still like it. Don't hate it. You know, obviously Patrick Swayze no longer with us, so it's nice to rekindle that. Then we have Dirty Love. Was a big fan of Jenny McCarthy back in the day, so I did quite like this movie. But yeah, it's very silly comedy. You really do need to turn your brain off to enjoy this. Then we have the TV series Dirty Sexy Money. This is season 1 that they did. I quite liked it. It's something a little bit different about the higher class. Then we have season 2, and then it was cancelled, so unfortunately not a proper ending. As you can see, I've got a sealed copy. I've never actually got round to finishing that. And then finally for this video, Disaster Movie. Yeah, not the greatest. Even yeah, it's a movie I've watched once. I may never revisit, but it's there to remember what movies like. And then, as you can see, the next, all the way down to here, is Disney. So the next video will be on Disney alone. And there we go. So we're slowly getting through it, and as you see, the next one will probably be a big one, because I've got like 2 to 3 rows of Disney movies, so I've tried to dedicate it. That's why this is a slightly short video, but yeah, hopefully enjoying the in-depth collection of Bizarre Sigma. Do all the things you need to do if you want. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.